Coming up tonight on This Week in Carrington Sports, Cardinal athletics in the winter underway as boys and girls wrestling hit Minot to open the 2025 season. We've got the results of that one. Plus, Kadyn Mehring led Carrington to 31 wins in her first season as head volleyball coach. She stops by to recap what was a fantastic season for Carrington volleyball. Coming off of a state tournament trip of their own, Carrington girls basketball head coach Andy Braaten joins us to give us a preview of what 2025-26 looks like, including a loaded schedule for the Cardinals. And a visit from new Carrington Boys basketball head coach Randy Hooey, who will give us a preview of his much different looking, much younger roster in 2025-26. All of that and more coming up tonight on This Week in Carrington Sports. One more honor in the football career of Carrington senior Tate Wolski, as he was named for a second consecutive season to the All-State second team in Class A. Wolski had 115 tackles, 76 were solo, 11 were for a loss. He had a sack and an interception for a touchdown, while rushing for 375 yards and 2 touchdowns and catching 120 yards worth of passes with another touchdown. Congratulations to Tate on back-to-back all-state second-team selections.
When you're thinking about insurance, think of Bickett Insurance. Bickett Insurance, through our partnership with Auto Owners Insurance, can take care of your farm, home, auto, business, or life insurance needs. The agents at Bickett Insurance have over 115 years of insurance experience. We know how to design policies to protect the things important to you. Give Bickett Insurance a call today.
Better get Bickett. Bickett Insurance Agency. Better get Bickett. Bickett Insurance Agency.
Cardinal volleyball completed a 31-win season under first-year head coach Kadyn Mehring on Saturday. They got all the way to the state qualifier and fell to Valley City in 4 sets. And we're joined by Coach Mehring now, and not bad for a rookie head coach. 31 wins, undefeated in the regular season within region matches. I know it's hard that the team didn't quite get to state, but having had a little time to digest everything, how proud are you of this group?
I'm so proud of this group. Our season fell a little bit short. We didn't end the way that we would have liked to, but there's so many things to be thankful for and proud of from this season. I mean, we had a lot of accomplishments that I don't think anybody necessarily saw happening for us, and I'm just so proud of the hard work, dedication, and the fight that this team brought day in and day out.
Was there a point this year that you realized you were as good as you were as a coach?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely the Deluxe tournament was kind of an eye-opening, like, holy, we are really good. And, you know, there's talk all season long, like, you guys can be one of the best. And I think that weekend really showed me and the girls that we are someone that is going to be a team that other teams look to beat, teams that they have to play their best to beat us. And towards the end of the season, I think it did take a lot out of other teams to beat us.
You mentioned the milestones. We watched as a couple different players got honored for reaching 1,000 assists over 3 years at the regional tournament. You had Hannah do it in 1 year. You had Harper Coleman go over 1,000 digs. These are not milestones that should be scoffed at. These are huge deals.
Right, and it's not a milestone that every player reaches. It's a very select few that are able to reach over 1,000 in their particular area. And to do it in one season, Aniston setting-wise, is amazing. And, I mean, that also goes towards the passers and the hitters, because without them, she would not have been able to get 1,000. And Harper getting 1,000 digs, that just shows that she is an animal out there on defense, and she is putting in her best effort to get every ball up that she can.
What was the biggest surprise for you about your team this year? Like, what did you maybe not expect to be as good as quick as it was?
I think just like the confidence. We talked before that, you know, a lot of our girls were on B squad last year. They did not see the varsity floor. We had 2 returners. Otherwise, everybody else was totally brand new on our team. We even had a freshman playing this year. So just the confidence and the willingness to pour into each other and willingness to work hard and continue to improve every day. If I said something the day before our last game, they were truly taking it in and wanting to get better. They never gave up. And you could see that the last couple games, that the fight was there every single game.
You played at such a high level for so much of the season. And I think part of what we miss in the media and as fans and whatnot is that does take a lot out of a team. Could you see your team having to fight a little more at the end than they maybe had to earlier in the year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, at the end of the day, we are playing our best when we are having fun and we're playing confidence. And I just think the last couple games, we are a young team. We're going up against a lot of seniors who have been in these moments before. So maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe just a little bit of that inexperience. Again, because we are so young, we're freshmen, sophomore heavy with some juniors. So just not having the experience on the big court, the big games, I think kind of got to us a little bit. But at the end of the day, we never gave up. That 4th set against Valley City, I looked at them and just said, we're a team that never gives up. We keep fighting until they are at 25, we are at 25. And you could see it for sure in that 4th set when we did come back. It was like 16-20, and we almost won the set. So you could just see the hard work that they continue to put in and that never gave up attitude.
It's disappointing for the 3 seniors, but it is impossible not to think what's coming with this program. Your entire starting lineup will be back next year, your entire rotation minus Lauren. Mm-hmm. You've got a ready-made replacement for Lauren with Maya Nice. You got a huge contribution from Cody Thiel in the biggest match of the year. And you might get Josie Coleman back from her injury. I mean, you guys are set up really well for next year.
Yeah, one of the players even talked to me and was like, I'm so excited for next year. And I mean, it is sad to think about next year already just because we are losing 3 seniors who were very valuable to this team and were great teammates all season long. So it is sad to think ahead to next year, but I mean, all exciting things because we do return almost every single person that played this last season. And, you know, it's going to be a fun year to look ahead to. And first, they got to get the job done in basketball, but I can't wait for next season already.
First-year head coach. What did you learn about this profession this year?
I just learned how fun it could be. Like, I'm living through them, and I love coaching a group that is so coachable and that is willing to learn. It just helps make my job so much better. And just they did not have an attitude. They got along so well. So I think that just the group of girls I had just made it that much more memorable for me.
And we can't wrap up the interview without mentioning your assistants, Kenzie Edlund and Hannah Heigl. You 3, you could tell how much fun you 3 were having.
Yeah, it was kind of our little inside joke just because we're like, every other coaching staff is so much older than us. Like, we're like, they're probably married with kids, and here we are, just some 20-year-olds just having fun coaching them like we were coached before. So it was super fun having them on the sidelines this year with me.
Well, the 2025 season was a memorable one. Coach Mehring, the 2025 Region 2 Coach of the Year as a rookie, not bad. Coach, thanks so much for all the time this season, and we're just like you. We can't wait for 2026.
Thank you.
Life is about moments, big or small, joyful or challenging. At Carrington Health Center, we believe everyone in our community deserves compassionate care close to home, so you can focus on enjoying those moments surrounded by the people you love. At our facility, we put the care in
physical therapy,
radiology,
the acute care clinic.
Still a couple of weeks before Carrington boys basketball gets practice started in advance of the December 16th opener with Devil's Lake, but what better time than the present to talk to the new head coach of Carrington Boys Basketball, Randy Hooey, who was promoted from assistant coach to head coach. You must be awfully excited.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. It was great the last couple of years, with Coach Otto, and unfortunately, he decided to step down, but we're really excited to keep going here, and we've had a lot of open gyms so far, and since football's been done, and we've had quite a few boys in the gym every Sunday night and Tuesday, Thursday mornings, and so it's really fun. The boys are getting excited. I'm excited. I think it'll be a really fun year.
Knowing how much you enjoy being around this and being around these kids, I can imagine that the discussions took about 20 seconds for you to accept the job. Is that right?
Yeah, it was about that. Yeah, maybe even less. Yeah. No, it was, I'm fortunate to be able to take over this, and, Miss Michelson and Mrs. Helm and Mr. Weber put their trust in me to keep going with the program, and I'm really excited for the opportunity.
The cool part about that is that a lot of the guys that you're going to have on the court this year for varsity, you had on the B team last year. Take us through some of these guys who are now going to be asked to be in much bigger roles.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I've had them, a lot of them the last 2 years. So, Taylor Mehring is going to look to become a leader for us, and look to do more scoring, be more diversified in his scoring attack. Also on the defensive end, we're going to need Talon to be a better defender and maybe a little better rebounder as well. And we're looking for big things out of him, and we're a really positive junior campaign. Maddox McAloney, senior, we're looking for him to have great things as well. He averaged about 10 points a game last year. We're looking for that to increase a little bit, as well as his rebounding. We're looking for him to be able to become more diversified scorer too, inside and outside, and take on a leadership as well for us. Tate Wolski, returning starter as well, senior. He had a nice junior year. He does a really good job on the defensive end. Becomes a really good defender for us. Typically guards their best guy, every night, and also rebounds really well. So we're going to look for him to be more effective on the offensive end this year. And I think he can do that. So I think we'll throw in some nuances to hopefully get him closer to the hoop. And, even he's a good rebounder, like I said, try to crash the offensive boards with him and get some putbacks. Alec Threadgold's another one. Alec, he had some really nice games last year. You look back to that New Rockford game, and probably one of the better games I've ever been part of, and he was huge in that game. We're going to look for a lot more consistency of that type of Alec every single night, and I think he can do it. He's a worker, he's a hustler, just a quiet leader out on the court, but he always works hard, and that's a great thing. So I think out of those four, we're looking for a lot of big things out of them. Ewan Aberley is another one. We're looking for him to take a step from that JV to varsity, and also Hayden Hoggle's a potential one as well, and maybe even like Jamison Coots. They're both sophomores, and we have pretty low numbers, so we're looking for whoever we can get to step up and play some minutes for us.
So the biggest question you have coming into the year, and I think people know how good Josh Bickett was.
Yeah.
Early in the year, they might find out just how good he was as you tried to develop some of that ball handling and some of that leadership on the court. Who has the opportunity to take that role?
Yeah, I'm hoping Talon, he's going to be our point guard right away in the year, and he's going to have to take on a lot of that ball handling responsibility for us. Maddox is another one that is going to have to help take over that. Josh was great. He was a great leader. He was a great leader on and off the court and did a lot of things for us that people I don't think realized how much he actually did for us. And so it's not going to be one guy that's going to step up. We're going to need multiple guys and a bunch of guys to fill that 100% of what his leadership role that he left us.
One of the things, and you've already mentioned it, numbers, that creates opportunity for younger players. Who are some of the names that we should get familiar with?
Yeah, so we're going to bring up 5th, 7th, and 8th graders this year to come play JV. We're going to bring up Jace Coleman. He's about 6'2" right now. He's still growing. He has potential to be a good post. He's really improved just in the last month in open gyms. He's had to guard Alec a lot, and Cody Otto, he's had to guard him, so he's had to get more physical too. You know, it's just something he's never had to see before. So we're looking for big things out of him. We're looking for Asher McAloney is another name. Maddox's little brother is an 8th grader. And then we have 3 7th graders that we're going to bring up. We're going to bring up Adrian Otis, Radke Hooey, and Weston Erman. So we're looking for big things for all 5 of them to improve a lot this year. And I'm hoping that they all rise to the occasion. And it's going to be some growing pains. But, you know, it might not just be growing pains for 1 year. It could be a couple of years too. So, but that's okay. I think, you know, the hard work is going to pay off, and it's going to work for everybody. So.
Before we get to the region, with a new head coach comes a new staff. Who do you have on staff?
Brett McAloney is going to be an assistant coach, as well as John Otis. So it'll be nice to have John. I was able to help when I was a student assistant at Valley City State. John was playing there, and always said he's a big man that's had probably the best hands and feet I've ever seen of a big man. So it's going to be nice for him to work with our posts. And, you know, I brought up the Jace Coleman, you know, I mean, a younger post, and Alec Threadgold. I mean, it's going to be really good for them to work with John, because he's going to do a nice job. Brett, you know, his kids have been around forever. I used to compete against Brett in high school. And so Brett and I have become really good friends, you know, and so it's been, it'll be really fun. It'll be a fun year. And I think both those guys are really looking forward to it.
This is a region that grows not because of realignment, but because of enrollment. You gain Mayport CG, you gain Harvey Wells County. I know you're excited about that one. The rivalry is always there. But what do you make of the region? I look at it, and there are some opportunities for wins there.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think, you know, last year we beat Harvey, but they're always, like you said, the rivalry aspect. I mean, it seems like we get their best game every time we played them. 2 years ago, we got their best game. And so that's not going to be a slouch for us. I mean, we're going to have to come out and compete hard, just like we are every other night. Mayport, that's going to be a different team for us. I mean, we haven't played them. They've played some, you know, other opponents that we've played. But, you know, as far as knowing much about them, we won't know a whole lot about them yet. But, I mean, we'll make sure we get pretty familiar once we get closer to that game. So.
Your schedule, of course, it starts at home against Devils Lake, December 16th. Then you have St. John in, and a couple of games in the Carrington Invite. With the team trying to discover a new identity, it must be good to have home games early.
It's going to be great. Yeah, you're exactly right. So Devils Lake right off the bat, you know, that's going to be a tough game. Right away for us, but and then Thompson, we have them that week as well in a doubleheader with the girls, and you know those are 2 big region games right away. So we're going to find out a lot about ourselves in that first week as we head into the Christmas time, and being at home is going to be nice because our boys, it's going to be a lot of different system, different things, and you know it'd be nice to have something at least familiar, which will be this gym.
It certainly will, and we'll be there for the whole season. First-year head coach Randy Hooey joining us, Coach. Have some fun this year. Good luck, and we can't wait.
All right. Thank you, BJ.
The fun is always on tap. I'm heading to Headlocks. Headlocks. Headlocks.
Head on over to Headlocks of Carrington for some great deals after the Cardinals game. If you and your friends come in sporting any Cardinals gear, you'll not only receive the friendliest service around, but also special discounts. Ask for more details and visit us on Facebook for all of our happenings.
The fun is always on tap. I'm heading to Headlocks. Headlocks. Headlocks.
Headlocks, Carrington, North Dakota.
When you work with your local Pioneer team, you gain hardworking partners who strive to know your every acre. Doug Retzlaff is your local Pioneer Seed sales representative in Carrington. Call Doug at Retzlaff Seed and Supply LLC. He will do the best to match the right product on the right acre and supply you with unparalleled choices of Pioneer Seed products treated with Lumigen brand seed treatment to protect your investment. Doug and his team also carry a complete lineup of livestock feed and minerals. Retzlaff Seed and Supply LLC in Carrington, near the roundabout.
Carrington girls basketball will have their first practice of the season tomorrow. Coming off of a state tournament appearance, and we're joined by head coach Andy Braaten. Coach, we can't talk basketball right now without talking volleyball because that is most of your team. Between the experience of getting to state last year and the success that these girls have had playing volleyball this year, you're going to have a lot of confident athletes on the court.
And you got the track stars, you got the softball stars, so a lot of confident kids. You said it, and we might be a little behind in our conditioning, but we'll be ahead of the game confidence-wise.
Last year, you had that great senior class. They've now moved on, but you get to the state tournament, and I know you and I talked off the air a lot about for those young girls, it's just such a great experience. Never mind winning the 2 games you won at state. It's a great experience because they're going to continue to get better.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Show up, get 1% better every day, improve daily. That's what you control. Sometimes you don't control what kind of opponent shows up, but you control your effort and attitude, and that's what we really preach.
What was most impressive about that team last year? Because you had graduated some very nice players from the year before.
Just, their acceptance into, hey, this is a team game. We had certain roles that changed throughout the year, and the kids' attitude was 100%, even though the role may have changed, maybe diminished, but they stayed with it, and they learned from each other, learned from some of our defeats, and just tried to put their best effort forward. That's all we ask.
The summer, the off season, what have you seen from this group? I know you might not have her for the year, but Josie Coleman had a really good summer.
Yeah, she sure did, and too bad she got hurt like that. And but she always picks us up with spirits, and she had a great summer. She got a counter move down because she's really strong with her right hand, and she started going left with a counter move. Did some nice things in the off season, and she should be proud of that. And we look forward to her healing up.
What else did you see in the off season from these other girls?
Just playing with each other. Getting reps of different combinations. We just let it flow pretty much. We don't do a lot of sets or anything like that. We just kind of open gym style and let it flow and read and react kind of thing. So just reps of getting used to playing with each other.
It's not an unfamiliar team, but to those who are new following Carrington Sports with this show, who are some of those key contributors coming back?
Well, it probably starts with our captains, Sienna Top and Harper Coleman. They have to show us leadership. We had such good leadership from our seniors last year. They're going to have to, get a little more vocal in practice and, make sure everybody's accountable on their effort and their attitude, and that's the name of the game again. And of course, our sophomore class really helps us out with Mara, and Mara are both returning starters, and Annie with really starter minutes. So those are some of our key contributors, and we'll have to build a bench as we go. It won't be as deep as last year, but hopefully we have some kids step up and play at the next level a little bit more.
And this is exciting for Sienna because she's spent so much time learning from older kids. Now she gets an opportunity to really shine.
Yeah, she had some really good B games last year, and she got some versatility to her game, where she's not afraid of the outside shot. She bounces really well, and defensively she can probably guard multiple positions really well, and that's what we'll ask her. And like I said, the leadership as the lone senior is going to be big for us.
Your region was tough last year. It maybe gets tougher when you add Mayport CG into this, especially because they're returning as much as they are this year. But this is a really competitive, really fun region.
It sure is. And, when you play Devils Lake twice, Thompson twice, and then we added Turtle Mountain, we added Kindred, Central Cass, Benson County. So, yeah, our schedule, if it's not the strongest, it'll be right there. I think we were in the top 2 or 3 schedules last year, and it got better. And yeah, it's going to be a game every night that we have to step up and play hard.
That's the great thing about the way that it's designed in North Dakota, though. You can go schedule really difficult games, learn something about yourself, and if you lose, it's okay.
Well, you still want to, put a little more emphasis on the region games because that kind of sets you up for the postseason. But you're right. It doesn't end your season by any means, but you learn from it, you move on, and you're able to move on because it is the regular season.
You look at your coaching staff, and there's continuity there with Mara back and with Dave back. I know you lean on them a lot, and they really are important in this program.
Oh, absolutely. Dave spends a lot of time in the summer, puts on a lot of miles getting those kids to, summer leagues, and he helps out with team camps. And Mara brings a great energy, kind of a younger generation energy to us. And, she's played at the higher levels. She knows what it takes. And she has a lot of Cardinal pride, and she wants these kids to work hard.
Your schedule, you mentioned it. It opens December 1st with South Prairie Max here. Both teams might have one practice under their belt after that from volleyball. Who knows? But then, you're right. It's Turtle Mountain and Benson County and Devils Lake within a week. The Region 1 teams are all pretty good. Central Cass was very good until their best player got hurt a season ago. It is, if you want to see high-level basketball, this is the schedule for it.
hopefully we can keep up with those teams. It's going to be a challenge every night, and our kids will learn a lot, and it'll keep us sharp.
Well, Coach, we can't wait. December 1st, the first game right here at home against the South Prairie Max Royals. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, BJ.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
In Carrington, see Randy Hooey.
Boys Wrestling got their season underway Friday and Saturday at the Minot Early Bird Boys Tournament, and at 107 pounds, it was an all-Carrington final. Gabe English defeated Landon Clifton. Rich Kramlich was also fourth at the 107-pound class. At 114, Mason Cook was runner-up, Sky Kramlich runner-up at 127, and Jackson Wilson runner-up at 139. Callan Walski was sixth at 145. Gabe Clifton the runner-up at 152, while Nick Garber won the 160-pound weight class, and Jacob Heinrichs won it at 215, with Billy Jorgensen coming in third. The Cardinals are back at it Tuesday night in a duel at Oaks. You can hear it on KDAK The Cardinal beginning at 5:45.
Bassett Motors, where our
With fall just around the corner, that means it's Chevy Truck Month at Bassett Motors. Hi, it's Frank, and this month Chevy has huge rebates or low interest rates on new Silverados. Top that with huge dealer discounts, and you're sure to find a deal that works for you. Stop in today or call us at 701-652-2955 to schedule a test drive. View all our inventory at BassettMotors.com. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
A busy time right around the Thanksgiving holiday in Carrington Athletics as boys wrestling have their first duel of the season on Tuesday at Oaks, 5:45 airtime on KDAK, the Cardinal on radio. Then a week from tomorrow, it is girls basketball opening the season against South Prairie Max, two state tournament teams from a year ago. 6:45 airtime on KDAK, the Cardinal, and on YouTube. Boys wrestling hosts Northwood and Rugby on Thursday, December 4th. You can hear it and watch it at 4:45 on KDAK, the Cardinal, and on YouTube. And then Friday, December 5th and Saturday, December 6th, wrestling at the Velva Tournament for both the boys and the girls, and you can hear that on KDAK, the Cardinal. And we will have recaps and highlights of all of that on our next edition of the program, which will be on Sunday, December 7th. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks on the next edition of This Week in Carrington Sports.